welcome back to the channel. This is a very exciting video for me to make. Check out what is here sitting next to me. This is the 2024 Chevy Blazer EV, all new. And this is the RS trim. This isn't gonna be a comprehensive review by any means. I'll be doing plenty of that in the near future, not only on this channel, but also on the Bachman Auto Group channel, so definitely head over there and check that out. But I just wanted to grab the camera, do it a little differently, walk around the Blazer EV here and show you all the cool features that this new vehicle has to offer. I am super, super stoked. I was so excited for the Blazer EV to come out, and it's finally here, and it's right next to me. Let's jump in. And I just so happened to wear my RS-themed Metz Tech shirt today, so that was a nice coincidence. All right, so starting up here at the front of the Blazer EV, couple things will stand out. You do have the faux grille like you have on the Bolt, so a little bit of a textured kind of plastic element right there. You do have your RS badging again, and then you have a really nicely designed front cluster here. This is very similar to what we have on the ICE Blazer. You just have this kind of Stingray-esque design on the lighting cluster. These are daytime running lights here. Then you have your regular beams right here. You have this LED bar that runs across the front, and this Chevy bow tie right here is also illuminated. I'll show you a clip of that so you can see what that looks like. It's got kind of a little intro animation when you turn the vehicle on for the first time. You will also notice there is a front-facing camera here, and then this light bar continues across the front grille over to this side. Here's kind of the bottom lip here. I want to be able to give you guys as many shots of the vehicle in case you haven't seen it in person for the first time. Let's go ahead and open the hood and look underneath. All right, well, I got it open. It's kind of a weird mechanism. You actually have to pull it twice to get it open, and this is what you get to look at. So nothing. You have a little opening here so you can refill your wiper fluid. You have your little latch right here. You have another little thing there, not sure what exactly that is, but none of these plastic panels can move, and you do have one for the fire department as well. I'm assuming there's some kind of mechanical or some kind of battery element back there. But yeah, that's all you get to see. A nice big piece of plastic up under the hood here. This is the RS version, not the SS version. So the SS is the highest trim level. The RS here is one down from that. We don't even have a full window sticker here yet because it hasn't gone through invoicing yet or whatever the process is, but you can see right here that you have 279 miles of range on the RS here. And this is supposed to have 288 horsepower, 333 pound-feet of torque on the RS version. If you do go up to the SS version, which is the performance version, that has somewhere like 570 horsepower, something around those numbers there, which is absolutely nuts. 0 to 60 in like 4 seconds with their wide open watts, I think is what they call it. You can see some Blazer badging back here with the little EV moniker there with the 3 blue lines on the back. Looks really nice. Chevy badging back here, blacked out all-wheel drive badge, which I really like. Nice and subtle, and then the RS badge as well. It's definitely got a different look overall, I think, than the ICE version of the Blazer. It's a little bit squattier and like thicker looking in the back end. And it's got a really tiny rear wiper. Look at that thing. That is very small. And a actually pretty small back windshield as well. It's kind of squatty, and then you have kind of this double layered spoiler here with these little almost eyes on them. It's a pretty interesting looking back end. I think it's very different than the normal Blazer. I think you can definitely tell them apart on the road outside of just having, you know, EV badging and whatnot. So you have your rear view mirror camera as well as your standard rear vision camera that works with your HD surround vision. And we'll talk about that a little bit more on the inside. I've got my my reservations about Chevy's surround vision. It's starting to age a little bit and they're not doing much about it, but we'll talk about that in a sec. Here is the bottom fascia. And yeah, I mean, it's, you know, nothing crazy. You do have parking sensors there. Obviously, you're not going to have an exhaust because you don't need one on an EV. Some reflectors, some cool tail lights, a big kind of Y shape that they're going with. Same thing on the front headlights as well. Let's open the tailgate. This does have a power lift gate. There's a button underneath. Pretty generous storage capacity back here. Obviously, it's a larger SUV, so you'd expect that. But you do get a little taste there of the seating surfaces, which we'll take a look at in just a sec. Absolutely awesome. But yeah, some nice storage space. You do have your dual level charging cable right here that anyone that has a Bolt is well accustomed to. I have one of those in my garage right now. Up underneath, you get all of your tools back here. Lots of little storage compartments, and then you've got the button up here to drop the tailgate, so we'll lower that back down. These are pretty large. I'm gonna say these are like 21-inch wheels. I'll have it on screen if they're not 21-inch, but I'm pretty sure they are. Futuristic, aerodynamic-y look to them. They are a two-tone wheel. I think they look really nice. Some little accents on there on the sides, and they're cool. So right here is one of those highly publicized things. This is the little charging port area. So if we just kind of push in this area, I think it's over here. Yeah, there's a button, yep. Then it just kind of like transformers its way out right there to give you access to the charging area. This does have significantly better fast charging speeds than the Bolt. Obviously, you'd expect that. And you can pull that out and get access to the fast charging port right there. And I'll have the specs on screen for you. I don't know them exactly off the top of my head quite yet, but that little button right there is what will close this thing back up. So you can just push this and then the thing will start folding back in. It's nice and slow, so you're not gonna get your fingers caught or anything. And you can actually see these little two lines right here. That's actually telling you where you need to push. So you would just hit that, and it will go ahead and fold out for you. These side mirrors here have integrated turn signals, blind spot monitoring. This one came with a spider on it as well. And it has cameras up underneath that obviously work with your surround vision system, and they are power folding mirrors as well. One interesting note is you don't actually have any kind of sunroof option up here on this specific model. So no panoramic anything, or even small roof, just on this one specifically. I definitely think you can get it as an option though. Another interesting thing is this one does not have Super Cruise. So you can get Super Cruise on the Blazer, obviously, but we just don't have it here on this one. Let's get one more big outside sweeping look at this thing here. So as we make our way kind of into the cabin, just wanted to show you the sides of the door panels here. I mean, I'm kind of geeking out here, as you can probably tell, but this beautiful black and red contrast. So really nice kind of leather material here on the sides of the door panels with the bright red accents to it. And then you've got some black up top with some red contrast stitching. You've got some carbon fiber elements on the sides, some more textured bits down at the bottom. Really, really beautiful cabin. If we move our way inside, you can see these two-tone seats. Oh my goodness, do these things look amazing. So you've got, they call them, I think Ecotex is the name of the seating surface, but they have this kind of velvety almost feel to them, microfiber on the headrest and then on the center portion there with the perforations. And then the outside part is a leather. It looks absolutely amazing. Obviously, if you guys have followed the channel for a while, you know I'm a huge fan of black and red. And so having this combo all over the cabin, absolutely amazing. So I went ahead and moved around so it's not in the direct sunlight. You guys can kind of see the cabin a little bit better. There's your steering wheel, infotainment display, your vents, and then over to the other side of the cabin, and hopefully this gives you a little bit better view of the interior surfaces and things like that since they're not in the direct sunlight. You've got your adaptive cruise control options right there, and it's pretty minimal, but it does have adaptive cruise control, and obviously, like I said, you can get Super Cruise as well. Over here you have all your media controls. You also have your heated steering wheel button, and you can control the massive driver information center back here with these buttons, and you can switch through what actually shows on screen. But you have this incredibly crisp, high refresh rate display. I am a massive fan of it. I don't love the Google look to it, but it's very clean. You can customize it. The graphics are very crisp. And like I said, just having a high refresh rate display on any vehicle just makes such a big difference. You can get your mapping information on here as well. So if you have that enabled and you get out of demo mode, you can see that there. You've got stalks back here for your light controls, your wiper controls, and then your shifting is actually over here on this stalk. And it's not your traditional stalk shifter where you just go straight down and straight up. It actually doesn't work. It's kind of locked in that orientation. You have to actually pull towards you and then push up. And that will shift it into either reverse if you go up, neutral if you go straight back, drive if you go down, and then park is a button. You also have your little regen braking paddle back here that we're very accustomed to on the Bolt. But then if we move down here to the star of the show, this is the massive, and I mean massive, 17.7-inch infotainment display powered by Google. And you can see the kind of Google influences throughout. It's got, you know, Google Assistant built in right here. You've got the Play Store built in right here. If we swipe over, you get like Google Podcasts, Google News, all that kind of stuff. It's all built in, but it works really well. As you can see, it's buttery smooth, which is always nice on an infotainment center, especially on a car, because they're not all like that by default. You've got mapping like I showed. You've got audio, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Obviously, you've got your camera menu. The camera system's interesting because you have only half the screen that actually has the cameraing system. So the overhead view camera is really tiny in this little section. Then you get a bigger view of your actual camera view, but then they take up like a third of the screen just with like information about the camera system, like which one you're in, which is very, very odd to me. I don't know why it does this either. I don't know if this is a bug or what, but it like goes away and you have to tap a bunch to get it back. But yeah, you have to control with the buttons over there. So I don't know, you don't really get to take advantage of that full screen, at least in the camera view. Let's go into the drive modes here. So you've got normal, sport, snow, ice, and then your My mode. And you can switch through these different modes. You can see all your different charging options if you want to charge to 100% or not. And again, this isn't a comprehensive review. I'm just trying to show you guys some of the cool things. Got your climate control down here at the bottom. Everything's adjustable here on screen. You can turn the temperature up or down, turn on your heated seats. Then you do have some physical controls down here. And you have temperature gauges here that you can turn. Now let's talk about this gauge right here. This is really cool. This is your volume gauge, but look on the inside. You see those little animations going on the inside? There's like a growing meter over here on this side when you turn the volume up, and there's also a little blue one on the inside. So some really nice little attention to detail there that looks really, really cool. And then down below that, you have these buttons here. So these are how you turn your lighting systems on, off to auto, turn on your, I guess they call them fog lights, but they're not separate. You can also turn your vehicle on using this button, and then you can turn it off using this button. And then when you do that, it does turn off. Down here on these vents, these are pretty similar to what we've had in the past with the kind of Blazer twist vents, but these ones don't actually close up on the inside. That's super visible, but you can turn them like this and they will close up and not blow air anymore. And then you just twist them out and then they start blowing again, and you can adjust them to any direction. But I'm sure the thing that people are most interested in is the driving experience. So like I said, you get in the cabin, you sit down, you put your foot on the brake, and the vehicle just turns on. Then this beautiful screen will turn on and it will show you all of your driver information. Then like I said, you have this little stalk right here that lets you put the thing into gear. So let's go ahead and pull this way and lift up. Boom, turns on our wonky backup camera. That's got some issues. They need to iron that out. And then we'll pull down, push down, be back into drive, get a little front-facing camera there. And let's go ahead and just take it for a quick spin. Like I said, this isn't a review necessarily. I just wanted to show you guys kind of what this thing's like, how it sounds, how it drives. And let me shut up so you can actually hear how it sounds. And I'll give you a better sound of that in a second, but it's a nice spacey whir. Let's go ahead and put it in sport mode. All right, we're in sport mode now. And let's take it out here and we'll give it some juice. So that's 288 horsepower, 333 pound-feet of torque, or thereabouts. And yeah, you can hear it in that whir. It's definitely got juice. Like, I don't want to take away from it at all. It feels good. It's a heavy, like you can tell it's like a well-built, like solid. When I use heavy, it sounds derogatory. It's not. It's just a well-built vehicle, and you can definitely feel that. But that does not mean in the slightest that it is not quick on its feet. This thing is just an absolutely stunning looking vehicle. I'm a big, big fan, especially the interior. I messed around with the adaptive cruise control. It works well. I would love to have one with Super Cruise so that I can really put Super Cruise to the test again. I only got to use it for a short time on a Bolt Premier, but I'd like to mess around with it more. But I just wanted to give you guys kind of an informal look at the Blazer EV for the first time, since it's my first time experiencing any of it. And it might be the same for you guys. But yeah, let's give it a little action right here. I really like the sounds. I think that's an underrated aspect of it. I don't know if you heard it right there, but the whirring is very noticeable, and when you accelerate, it's almost like this like pumped in whirring noise when you accelerate. It's really cool sounding. Instead of having like, you know, big engine noise when you accelerate, it's like this big electric vehicle noise. And I'm kind of a fan. Let me try the regen paddle here. I'm very used to this on my Bolt. Okay, so it's a little different feeling than the Bolt. The Bolt one almost has some like give to it to where you can kind of squeeze it almost like a real brake would. This one's more of like a button where you just click it and it slows down a lot. So that's a little different. All right, I'm gonna try and take it on the highway real quick. Still in sport mode. You hear that? Once you're at like highway speeds, it doesn't pin you back to your seat anymore. It only does that on like acceleration at the beginning. But it's definitely way more than enough power for passing and for effective highway driving. But it's not it's not a Model Y, guys. It's just not. At least the RS. When we check out the SS, I'll let you guys know then. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Drop a like on the video if you loved it. Tell me in the comments down below, what do you think about the 2024 Blazer EV RS? Are you gonna pick one up? What's your favorite feature? Let's have a conversation. I'm super stoked about this vehicle. Let's talk about it down in the comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to be among the first to see every single new video the second I hit publish. We'll see you in the next one.